Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Coach One Stack, man. Hope everybody having a good day. And guys, man, the internet been going crazy with this Tootie Raww story, man. Little Boosie's son, Tootie Raww, 5'10", 108 pounds. Man, the internet been going hot with this story. But guys, I got more info for you. But this just comes off the title of a video I watched saying that, Boosie saying the feds have targeted him and his son. I just want to speak on that for a minute before I go hit this gym. You did? Now, how are the feds targeting you when they keep catching y'all dirty with these weapons and drugs and stuff? So, let me just start this one off by saying Tootie Raww was caught. Let me not lie. Hold up. Let me show you. Tootie Raww was caught with possession of a sawed-off shotgun, which is a real bad look, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't know what a sawed-off shotgun will do to you, it will shred your body in half. You understand what I'm saying? A sawed-off shotgun, that is very illegal in most states, and it is where he's at. He had possession of a sawed-off rifle. Now, what are you doing sawing off a rifle and a shotgun with your 108-pound ass? Possession of a machine gun, right? Which we already know, man. That's gonna carry a federal case. But then listen to this last one that I didn't know about yesterday, y'all. Possession of a silencer. God, he had that ding, 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 ding. They ain't making no noise. Let me tell y'all something. Just getting caught with that stuff, having a silencer and a machine gun, bro, you're automatically going to the feds, And so they asking, Boosie sitting up here asking the world, like, why are the feds targeting me and my son? Because you and your son doing stupid shit. You and your son moving like idiots. You shouldn't be doing that. You should have never brought your son into this life, and then you expect him to stop this life. Your son sitting up here, man, 108 pounds soaking wet, and he think that just because he got a hammer, that it can protect him and that it's going to save his life, and it's going to keep him out of situations. But what y'all don't realize is how God works, because God got the last say. You don't realize that maybe by Tootie Raww getting arrested, maybe it kept him from doing something that he would regret for the rest of his life. See, you remember when they caught the BG? The BG was on his way to go put in work with Mooney and a couple other people. And they stopped them on the way. You dig? So BG went and did his 13, 14 years. But had they followed him, he would have put in some work and he'd still be gone. Same thing with Tootie Raww. You don't know what that boy got going on his way to the feds. And then, man, I cannot believe so many videos that have surfaced where this Tootie Raww sitting out here, man, in front of the trap, which y'all talking about what a trap house is. Oh yeah, I'm getting money, I'm getting dope. Then these recorded phone calls between Boosie and his son that you put on live for everybody to hear. Come on home, son, what you doing? I'm trapping. Well, you on an open line while making a video, self-snitching on you and your son by letting your sons get on and tell the world that he's selling narcotics and that he's trapping and that he's doing this and that. On many, many occasions, you had these phone calls on social media. So here's the thing, y'all. I'm somebody, I might only see 2 or 3 things or something that y'all send me. But I keep telling y'all, man, one day y'all gonna listen to me. And maybe y'all listen to me when it comes to this case. When it comes to them alphabet boys, they all have a room specifically where people sit and watch your social media every day, all day, and take notes, especially they targets. And Boosie been on the radar. And by always thumbing your nose at the police, you stay on the radar. You put your kids on the radar. This is why, every time they step out the house in Atlanta, you get stopped. This is why Boosie supposedly left Baton Rouge, y'all, the BR. They said every time I was getting stopped. Every time I turn around, I'm getting stopped. I'm getting them stopped. Well, because they know you got Marlo Mike, and they know that you got somebody that that they know you keep you a Marlo Mike or two in your crew. You have even said in your interviews that you keep somebody, one or two people in the car with you, and they are supposed to take the case whenever something happened. So you the one that put law enforcement on that. So I don't understand how a father and son that puts law enforcement on everything. Matter of fact, they put the world, which includes law enforcement, onto everything that they have going on the internet. Everything. And then when they get stopped and caught with all these guns, like Tootie Raww, and when Boosie gets stopped, he got his gun out in San Diego, and like y'all think y'all being targeted. How would the feds, man, it ain't no boo-hoo. I don't feel bad for Boosie. I don't feel bad for Tootie. It's sins of the father, and little Tootie Raww is no different than if any other young black king, which it happens every day, all day. Another young black king gets caught with a sawed-off shotgun, a sawed-off rifle, a machine gun, and a silencer. He ain't the only one. He's not the only one. I don't understand why y'all making such a big deal out of this. He ain't the only one, and so what? Because we know he's going to prison. And they try to blame Charleston White. Man, it's not Charleston White's fault. You know, Charleston White did not make Tootie Raww go around and walk to walk around and have a sawed-off shotgun, a sawed-off rifle, a machine gun, and a silencer. Let me drop a gem on some of y'all in this message right here. Man, you got this crime, man, called assault. Okay? Assault is when you tell somebody, man, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to you. Okay? Now, it ain't just the fact that you tell them, you have to have the means to carry it out. So I need y'all to follow me real quick. When you're sitting on the internet, you sitting on your phone or tablet or whatever, and you're streaming to the world, right? And you somebody like Tootie Raww, if you sit up here showing guns, and then you go to somebody like Charleston White and say, yeah, when I see you, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to you. God, that is a crime. And that is over federal ways because it's over state lines. And I'm going to tell you why it's a crime. Because if I tell you I'm going to take my gun and delete you, well, you see my gun, I have the means to do it, which means I could carry out that threat that I said, and boom, you have a crime. And since it's over the airwaves, it's federal. So that's why a lot of y'all need to shut the fuck up when, you know, and stay up off your social media. Now, here's the next difference. Let's just say I say, hey, I'm going to take my my tank, and I'm gonna take my tank and I'm gonna roll it over your house and destroy everything you own. Well, the thing is, if I don't have a tank, so you can't take my threat seriously. So it's not really a crime because I don't have the means to carry that out. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have the means to carry that out. But in Tootie Raw's case, man, he had the means to carry that out. So I'm wondering, what other kind of work have he put in allegedly? I'm sure his daddy taught him better than that. You know, you don't ride around with no weapons until you ready to use them, or you have used them. But I don't know, man. It ain't looking good for the boy. But that silencer, guys, I keep telling you, it is in Tootie Raw's best. It is in his best interest to waive his right to a speedy trial and take whatever the state is going to give him. Okay? The feds, remember y'all heard this on my channel first. The feds are baking him a cake as we speak, okay? And when Tootie Raww, when y'all heard it on this channel first, when Tootie Raww takes his little sweet ass time and does not take this deal that they would give him in state court, guess what? The Alphabet Boys is picking up that case. Not because they necessarily want Tootie Raww, but it's a way to get back at Boosie because they run their damn mouth too much. Y'all obstructing these police. You're talking shit to them. They got a job to do. Obstruction is when you hinder an officer or by talking too much or talking shit, and you hinder him or slow him down from doing his duties. And that's called a catch-all charge, which means you're going to go to jail for it. You ain't never going to get a conviction for it. Obstruction of an officer. But man, Boosie, you should have raised your kids better than that. But mine, no. You're going to be respectful to not only the police, but people in general. You're going to respect grown folks. You definitely going to respect people's authority. Because let me tell y'all something, people. When you get stopped by them police, Keep your hands on the wheel. That's why you should keep all your paperwork right here where you can reach it, but you keep your hand on the wheel and you do whatever that officer tell you to do. If he tell you to get out, you get out. If you tell you to stay in, you stay in. Because at this point, you cannot win. You cannot talk the police out of winning. You can't talk the police out of doing what they're going to do. The best course of action is just to go ahead and cooperate, and a lot of that shit y'all go through will be over after they get done running your name and see that you ain't, you don't have any warrants. These people, these police sitting out there doing their job, man, they want to get home they want to get home safe to their family as well, each and every day. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, man, like this content, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Guys, it's free. It ain't cost you nothing. It's free. We taking things back to the old way of YouTube. We don't need all them fancy intros. We don't need them fancy outros. I'm not editing shit. And so if I stutter through something, at least you know it is a real thought. I'm giving you my articulation about a lot of this stuff going on in the industry from my law enforcement point of view, and I give it to you from a street point of view as well. But other than that, man, I love you guys. Be safe, be blessed, and stay the fuck out the way, church.